For this video, let's try to show and prove the scalar identity on the associative property of scalars for R3. This is actually, or these two are actually the remaining axioms we have yet to prove in order for us to determine that R3 is actually a vector space. We need to understand that we need to structure R3 or the space in R3 being an vector space so that we can actually work for the concepts around surrounding vectors on R3 as we look into the concept in the geometry of the sphere. So we're going to show that them to be true here, and then in the previous 4 videos we already have the 8 axioms already proven. Now we can declare if these two are true here, we can declare that R3 is really a vector space. First, let's prove that the scalar identity is actually true. That means if we're going to multiply 1 to any of the vector, it's just a vector in itself. That's why it's called scalar identity. We have the identity of multiplication being 1. So our x here is given as the components, x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. Of course, it's an R3. And c and d are, of course, scalars, but they are actually to be used in the next, what they call it, property. Now, for this one here, if we talk about 1 times x, so we're basically multiplying 1 by the components of your x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. Okay, obviously it's true, but let's just show it anyway by multiplying the said scalar to all the quantities here so we can really show that to be true. You have here 1, x sub 1, 1, x sub 2, and 1, x sub 3. Now, x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3 being components of x are actually real numbers. So we can just simply take out 1, or don't write 1, because 1 x sub 1 means x sub 1 where 1 is our numerical coefficient. Therefore, it is just equivalent to x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3, which is just our vector x itself. With this, we have shown that 1x is clearly just equal to x. And this is actually true, or it holds for our R3 or vector space. Meaning, you can just simply use 1 and multiply it with any vector. It's the vector itself. Or the other way around, if you see any vector in R3, automatically, understandably, it has a numerical coefficient of 1, and all the components therein also has a numerical coefficient of 1. Now, let's proceed to the associative property of scalars. This means that if we have here a scalar quantity to be multiplied to already a multiple, scalar multiple of a vector with d, is just equivalent to just multiplying those two scalars times with our vector x. So let's show that this to be true. So we have c times dx must be equivalent to this form here. So how can we show that? First, let's try to multiply the vector vector x with our scalar d, because it's on the grouping symbol. So you will have here this form, d times the components of your x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. D being a scalar quantity, you can of course distribute that by scalar multiplication. So you will have here the form c times dx sub 1, dx sub 2, and dx sub 3. With this now being a vector and treating all components as 1, and of course we know that c is another scalar, you can now multiply the same that here. But of course, we need to understand that we need to group still d and x subs. So you have here c times dx sub 1, just for the purpose of discussion, c dx sub 2, grouping that, c dx sub 3, so that we could really work the proof step by step. Now, when this vector is already okay, 3 components are already done, and all the factors of the components, we're talking about c and d being scalars already, and x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3 are also real numbers, then in each of the specific component, we can now apply the associativity for multiplication, because for these are real numbers, associativity for real numbers are already established as well. So what we can do here is regrouping that. Instead of c times the group d and x sub 1, we can rewrite it as c times d times your x sub 1. We are regrouping them because, again, it's okay because they are all scalars. I mean, real numbers. We have a scalar c and d and components x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3 being real numbers as well. So once we are done grouping them, we know that these are all similar. We can take them out. Therefore, you will have the final form here, the product of C and D times x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. I mean, that's the second to the last form, because the final form should be C times D times this, which is actually your vector x already. Hence, we have shown that if we have C times a multiple of vector x by D, is equivalent to regrouping those two scalar quantity times x. This is an associative property of scalars. So we have proven this to be true. So we have here these two remaining properties. The scalar identity is true, and the associative property of scalars also true. Now, this might not be part of this video, but allow me to finish this one here. Okay, so with all 10 axioms for a vector space satisfied. Again, this is not necessarily part of this video, but I was just going to close this one here. Okay, then we can say that your R3 is a vector space. So I just want to finish that here, so that later on we will no longer return into proving whether R3 is a vector space. So we have proven now 10 axioms. We started with the closure property of vector addition, closure property for scalar multiplication. So we had that in one video. Another video talks about commutativity and associativity of vector addition. We also have the existence of additive identity and additive inverses. And then the previous video before this one, we talked about the distributive properties. First is the distributive property of a scalar over vector addition. And the other one is the distributive property of a vector towards our sum of two scalars. And again, scalar identity here and associative property for scalars already proven. Hence, R3 is really a vector space. The implication of this, all the necessary concepts related to a vector space are now applicable for R3. So if we're going to talk about such later on, as we look forward into the geometry of the sphere in this playlist for analytical approaches to modern geometry, we can now use the concept of vector space, because we have now proven that R3 is really a vector space. Thank you very much for watching.